we have another project to show that is Breeze in the Clouds. So let's check it
Back
out.
to back, like Drake.
Yo, I think I made like a Breeze in
The
the
dope
Clouds
beat.
step because the beat was just hitting. It was just hitting. But we have SrBilyon Harris in the lobby. First of all, this name is just amazing. SrBilyon Harris. So we have SrBilyon Harris in the building, the creator of Breeze in the Clouds. How are you, sir?
Beat from the demo.
Wait. There we go. Say it again.
No, so I'm glad you enjoyed the beat of the trailer.
Yes.
Oh
Yes, I
man,
was
you know me.
doing my
Like the
two-step.
music, that's the first thing on my list.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us
So,
about you
yeah.
in the game Breeze in the Clouds.
Sure. So Breeze in the Clouds is basically an action-adventure platformer starring a corgi named Breeze. And you're pretty much spending most of the game making friends with different weather phenomena and getting a bunch of different weather-based powers.
That's cool. See, corgis are one of my favorite dogs because of Cowboy Bebop. I want a
Yeah.
corgi for sure. So let us know, how did you get into game development, and like what inspired you to be like, you know what, I want to create something of my own one day?
So I've been interested in games since I was like 6 years old. And I think probably around the age of like 9 or 10, I said, I want to make games. So I think it's just something that I've always really wanted to do. I spent a good amount of my childhood playing like Sonic 2, Crash Bandicoot. I got into fighting games a little bit. So I pretty much spent a lot of my free time trying to figure out like how can I make games. Anything from like drawing pictures to trying to figure out how to write stories. I got into trying to learn how to program really young, and I didn't really go well the first time. But kind of towards high school, I kind of started figuring things out, just thanks to like coursework and stuff like that. But it's always been a passion and a dream of mine to get into games. Eventually went to college for it. Ended up teaching myself a lot of stuff, and yeah, something I just knew I always wanted to do. So I just put a lot of work into researching, what tools I could use to make games, and kind of just learning the process on my own.
Now we have the game playing right now, and while we're seeing some of the gameplay behind it, you have like these awesome different characters. You mentioned Sonic, even like from my childhood playing Star Fox, like just seeing these different characters. What was the inspiration to be like, I want a corgi and I want these squirrels to be in a game that I'm beating up? What
Right.
inspired you to have this?
So like corgis, I kind of similar to you. Like I always thought they were just a really cute dog. I was actually daydreaming on the bus, and I was kind of just looking out the window, and for whatever reason, I thought, what if there was like a corgi who gets swept away by like a balloon or something and ends up in the clouds, and then that little idea kind of sparked into a much larger idea over time, like this idea of a corgi who's trying to fix weather and operate these different machines that make clouds and stuff like that. But that's kind of how it started. I started adding in more characters kind of later on. They weren't originally like animal ideas. Ironically, I think I ended up choosing animals because I sucked at drawing like people and other creatures. So that's kind of how it ended up happening.
You have anything to add? The
Yeah,
dev,
like so.
the in-house dev.
I gotta point out I gotta point out the UI so dope. The art style amazing. It all blends together and goes with the music. Like you got all this stuff to match and like feel like it matches. Like super impressed. Like
Yeah,
most people get like so many of these things wrong.
yeah, the pre-production stage definitely took some time. It's just like a lot of iteration to kind of get things the way we really like it. So,
Yeah, just the
but
shading and the lighting, man, it's all like perfect. How long did it like kind of take you to get through pre-production to kind of figure that stuff out?
oh man, that's almost an embarrassing answer. So we actually started Breeze off as a 3D platformer back in like 2011, 2012. And just
Mm.
realizing how much I sucked at making 3D assets and stuff like that, I eventually decided to turn it into like a 2D platformer back in like 2015. So on and off through that time, we kind of developed this idea of making Breeze look like a kind of like a cartoon. Um,
It looks like I'm watching a show. That's what's so
Right?
dope about it.
Netflix, where you at? Where Netflix at? Nigga? Like it's just going right now.
Facts. I just love the
so
art
That,
for,
style
that's
of it.
really cool. Yeah, it's just so pretty.
thank you so much. No, I definitely. So I have a team of a bit over 20 people. So it was definitely a collaborative effort to kind of get the style going, like figuring out how characters and backgrounds work with each other. Um, and even like the cutscenes that you're seeing now, that was a few months long process of figuring out how we wanted to portray these things.
Nice.
Wow. So I seen like a lot of times we hear from game devs about mentoring, but I seen that you was able to even mentor some people in your college. How was that like to take your knowledge and also help out your classmates or any friends that was involved and wanted to be involved in game development?
So I think it kind of just happened organically in that like we had a lot of introductory courses where they were going over tools like Game Maker. Um, and since I pretty much know life, the whole process of trying to figure out how to make games and stuff, I kind of came with some knowledge, from the forefront. And having a lot of like group project and stuff just kind of caused me to work with a lot of folks who didn't know a lot about games. So I just kind of naturally went like, hey, I've done a little bit of stuff. Let me see what I can do to help you. And then, once everyone in all my classes knew that, then I was kind of that person people would come to figure out like
Who's
how to
that
do certain
guy?
things. I was just that guy. Like, I put myself in that situation. How about that?
So
But
So
I
SrBilyon,
enjoy.
what's
I enjoy
behind
that.
SrBilyon? The name
That's
SrBilyon, because it's just a dope name, like SrBilyon. Like I am here.
I was actually really happy that you were able to get it right the first time. 'Cause that's definitely a challenge for a lot of folks when I meet them the first time. They see my name and it's Senior Bylon, and I don't even want to go through the list, but the thought behind it, my mom actually made it. The sir, like phonetically, like yes sir, means that folks would always address me by sir. And billion would kind of equates to like my eventual value in worth. So, mom definitely
I love
kind of set some stuff
She set
up
you up.
at birth. Yeah.
That's great. That is great.
see,
That's awesome.
see, that's what I'm talking about. Like game devs never drop the ball when it comes to naming stuff.
I need to get my mom involved in the creative process probably a little bit more.
Yeah, shouts out to
I,
moms.
I,
Like
I
the
did
name
it.
is
I
fire.
did the same thing with my grandma though. Like that's why so much of my game is purple because it's her favorite color.
I'm too afraid to give her a controller though. Like I gave her Mario Kart.
No,
and that was
you don't
that
tell
was
them
an
about the game.
experience.
No, you don't say.
Yeah, don't tell her about the game. Just ask her questions. Just be like, hey, if you made a game, what would you do X, Y, and Z? And they give you the best answers.
She already stole the one Breeze shirt that I did make. So she definitely does a good job marketing the game even though she hasn't played it yet. So.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Family is always important in projects. I love to see it. Now, it's a fighting game, like it's a beat 'em up game that have all these different characters. And I asked this earlier to another developer because they're like chibi type of animals. What, like, either one of your favorite characters in gaming or a project you would love to work with? Who would you want to be in your game, Breeze in the Clouds?
Oh, that's a tough one. I mean, to put in the game, that'd be really hard to say. I think the closest I would say is someone like like Sonic the Hedgehog would be kind of cool. Like that, like I took a lot of inspiration from Sonic and like Crash, as I mentioned earlier. I've had a lot of fans joke about like Breeze being included in other things, just kind of naturally with him having a fighting game moveset. Like I get jokes about put Breeze in Rivals of Ether or put Breeze in Smash and stuff like that. So it's almost a flip. Like what else would you see Breeze in? Is what I get from a lot of folks.
Wow, dope. So what's some like in development? What are some type of trying things that you notice in developing games that you will want to give advice to any newcomers? Since you're a great mentor.
Definitely don't make your first project an MMO. I think that was almost a joke back in the day where everyone who got into games was like, I want to make the next biggest MMO. And there was this joke of a tweet, and it's not really even a joke. It's fact, but I think it said something along the lines of like, I didn't know when you make a game that you have to make the whole thing. And there's a lot of
like an anime title right now.
they should definitely make they should make an anime about making a game. But in truth, it's like we take for granted a lot of the different things we see in games, like things as simple as sound design, or figuring out how to make characters talk, or choosing a good style and direction for your game. I think advice I would give is try to get familiar, at least as far as if you're like running or leading a project, is to kind of try to get familiar with as many components of game design and game development as you can, especially if you're working in a team, because it makes it a lot easier to communicate different things with those team members if you understand the language. That's probably my biggest, the biggest thing I can advise.
Nice.
Now, you have any advice? The in-house dev?
Oh, advice to people: don't do it. This is so much
Yeah,
work.
don't make games unless you're crazy.
Yeah, unless like you crazy, you just
Like
really
you gotta,
really
like
love
you have
it.
to really
You
like
don't do it for the
doing
money.
this for years.
Yeah, this is years of your life is gone, and then that's if people like it.
and then
then we
definitely
get
ask
to
the dev when
enjoy
their
it.
game's coming out.
Yeah,
Probably
yeah.
the funnest question we love answering.
I know, right? So, SrBilyon, let us know anything else you want to add and where we can find or when we can get Breeze in the Clouds.
Okay. So yeah, that's the release date's definitely to be determined. But if you want to kind of follow, our progress and stuff, I'm really active on Twitter. Breeze Game, you can find us there. We also have a Patreon that has like a dev blog. You don't have to throw coins in if you don't want to. We make all our blogs or blog posts free. But you can find me on Patreon by my name, spelt at the bottom there. And we're working on getting a wish list page up, but we'll make sure to let everyone know once it's up on Twitter.
Nice.
Hey, thank you so much. I enjoyed playing your game. I can't wait till it come out. It's so enjoyable. Thank you so much for stopping by and being a part of Black Voices in Gaming.
Yeah, it was a pleasure speaking with you guys today.